All right, hey everybody, I'm SK from the Haunting Grounds, and Christy is over here kind of, I guess, watching for comments if anybody joins in or if anybody comments on Facebook, and I'm just going to sit here and carve because people asked me to do this. So you asked me to get on here and do a live hangout, and so you could come in here and watch and ask questions and whatever. So here I am, and I'm waiting for people to start coming in, and I'm just going to start working.
Oh, dude, I didn't know you could do the Xbox. Christopher Presley says Xbox on check. YouTube app activated. Check Haunting Grounds channel selected. Check time to sit up and watch a master at work. Who would that be?
Who's Chris Presley?
Yeah.
Chris Presley. Triangle Hunter?
About the master at work.
Well, I don't know who the master is. Alan Hops is not here tonight. He's the only master I know of.
And Sandy from Sandy Schneider Oddities just gave you a big happy face.
Well, if anybody's out there watching, we got 8 spaces in here to come in and hang out and chat with us. And
Give me a moment because I hear a dog whining for doggy food.
and for those of you who don't know, I'm working on my version. I shouldn't say my version. I'm working on a replica of a Death's Head tombstone. These were common back in the, I want to say, 16 and 1700s, late 16, early 1700s. If
Not exactly sure.
my thinking is correct, they are something generally the Puritans were big with, because they wanted people to fear death. So they wanted grave images on the tombstones. They didn't want to glorify death at all.
So what are some of the things that people used to put on tombstones?
What do you mean, what are some of the
Like
things?
some of the symbols.
Well, the Grim Reaper, the skeleton with his scythe, symbols of the hourglass, to show your time is short, or to symbolize that time is short.
Now, would they sometimes use the tombstone for just one person or more than one person?
Are you trying to get into a
Trying to help people understand these tombstones. A lot of people are not in a situation where they might be able to see old school tombstones.
well, sometimes the stones had more than one, especially when it was children. Back in the days when they'd have a plague or an influenza that would wipe out several children in a family all at once, all within a short period of time. Did it have one stone? Have all the children named on it?
Mm.
How's that camera look? Should I get closer? Should I?
It'd be nicer to kind of see a little bit more of what you're doing.
Let's see what I can do here. How's that? Is that better?
Wait. There you go.
Yeah. Maybe it's our bandwidth. I don't know.
Should be able to crank it up. Maybe it's just noise. Oh, mine's cranked back up. It'd be nice if there was a way you could kind of look over your shoulder.
Well,
Don't call it trouble.
yes, I do. It's just down in the basement.
Oh.
So this portion of the tombstone that I'm doing right here is called the finial. What I've done is I've carved out, this is I am assuming on this design, this is supposed to be the bottom of a olive. Why it's so large, I don't know.
What was the significance of using olives?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I said, and I think I said it in my blog, this is not my design. The stone is not, I did not design the stone. This is an actual stone out there in one of the cemeteries that I found a photo of. What's that?
I wonder if there's anything about it in that book that I got yet.
I don't know. I didn't see anything. I'm not sure what the significance of the olive leaves or olive.
Maybe peace?
No, I'm sure it's nothing to do with peace because these were Puritan stones and they wanted people to fear death. So I wonder. You want to run down in the basement and grab that tripod?
Yeah.
I wonder if that would be better. So for the few viewers that I have, we're going to try and get you a better angle here because this isn't really the greatest angle.
Oh.
But I'll actually run and get that while she's reading comments.
Mount of Olives, or Mount Olivia.
What is that?
It looks like it has to do with the mountain has been used as a Jewish cemetery. It looks like it has something to do with religion. Oh. Gravestones. Oh, I found the website that talks about it. Well, olive. Search olive.
We can comments on Facebook or anything?
Nope, no comments on the budget one.
Okay.
There's a website that talks about gravestone motifs in their meetings.
Yeah. All right. We've got a.
Maybe they're not aware of it because I see corn, ripe old age. Maybe it is a booty.
It's not a booby.
It's not on here. Kind of interesting.
All right.
Hill. Oh. Might be related to the olive branch from way back in the day.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we can do here with this. Sorry for those of you watching if I'm making you sick, making you nauseous. Just trying to get you a better. What? It can't be a peace symbol.
Well, the olive branch is a peace symbol.
All right, there we go. Now we got a better view.
Is olive considered a fruit?
I don't know. For those of you who are wondering, here is the stone that I'm replicating.
Oh, we got a couple comments. Let's see. Dolores Johnson asks, just during the conversation, are you going to carve the whole tombstone with the X-Acto knife? If yes, how do you carve the horizontal angles? That's a good question.
Horizontal angles. And assuming she's referring to how I get into the stone, how I get into these angles like this.
And that's much better, by the way.
Okay. And yes, Dolores, I usually carve all of my stones with an X-Acto knife. I don't really like the wood burning tool or the hot wire tools or any of that stuff. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with them. That's not to say they're not good tools. Just not my tool of choice.
All right, and then Brittany Raggle. What type of foam do you use for your tombstones?
I always, what type of foam? I don't know if they can hear you asking the questions over there.
I don't want to cause
But what was her name? Brittany?
Brittany.
Brittany asked, what kind of foam do I use for the stones? I always use XPS foam. It's this blue, well, it's a blue insulation foam. You used to be able to get it at Lowe's and Home Depot. The stuff that they're selling at Lowe's and Home Depot now is not, it's not as nice as it used to be. I don't know what they did, but they changed the makeup of the foam, and it just doesn't have as nice of a surface. But this stuff is still available at some of the building supply stores, and you can get it from contractors who generally use this stuff to insulate larger buildings.
Depending on your area.
Depending on your area, yeah.
Kim Spider says, hey, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
And Sandy says, much better view, thanks.
You're welcome, Sandy. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of trying to draw some guidelines in here so that I know when I carve these leaves out, I know where my lines are supposed to be. That way they all, it all kind of leads up to being scrunched up underneath the olives. For those of you who are wondering, yes, these are olives. They are not breasts. That seemed to be a topic of earlier photographs that I had posted. So I figured I'd clear that up.
And Dolores says they use a Dremel on low speed. And yes, we can hear you both. And yes, the angle of your camera is great.
Excellent. I do not, I don't particularly care for the Dremel when doing this kind of carving. I've used it on occasion. I've also used an air-powered rotary tool, which is what I had to use to get these eyes rounded out here. You can see that those eyes are nice and rounded. I had to do that with an air rotary tool, similar to a Dremel, but has much larger bits. So what I'm doing right now is basically just trying to get a rough shape of the indentation of these leaves here. And then when I'm done with this, I'll just go through with a piece of sandpaper and kind of round out the parts that needed to be rounded out. And a little bit more shaping. A lot of people always ask me how I do my lettering. I always have a nice beveled edges to all the text that I carve out of my stones. And that's because I do that with the X-Acto knife. And what I do is I'll print out the epitaph on regular printer paper, tape it down in place, and when I carve the stones, I'll hold the X-Acto knife at about a 45-degree angle here, and just try and keep that angle consistent as I cut through the letters and into the foam. So that's how I get such nice clean lettering.
Now how do you round the edges?
How do I round what edges?
Like, for example, the nipple you just did just now. How did
This?
you get that smooth?
That's not a nipple. It's an olive. I'll just take 220 grit sandpaper and sand it down. Once you paint it, a lot of the imperfections will go away. And once you get the hang of doing this with an X-Acto knife, you'll learn that it goes relatively quick. I mean, this much detail into a stone, it does take a little bit of time. And some people don't want to put that much time into their tombstones, especially if they're going to be a sort of a background item for their haunt. I like to put the detail into the stones just because I see it as artwork. I'm not just building a prop. I'm making a piece of art.
Yeah, he's got like 10 or 20 of those ones that he supposedly wants to do for this year.
I have 7 more.
Although we need to change the whole list here.
One of the problems that I have, and I used to think that it was the X-Acto knife getting dull, but it's not. When you get these X-Acto blades, you'll notice in the pack of blades that they have a thin film of oil on them. And what happens is when this blade dries out, it'll start to grab the foam. It won't cut as smoothly. So I found that a little bit of sewing machine oil, just a tiny dab of sewing machine oil on here, keeps the blade smooth, cutting smooth through the stone. Obviously, you don't want too much on here because you don't want to soak your stone up with oil, because then the paint's not going to take too well to it. But it's worked thus far. Just back my cut.
Oh, Rock on 911 says, how awesome. I'm in Philly this weekend, so I've been trying to find some old cemeteries to check out. Now I get to watch the master of historically accurate stones. And then Kim Spider says, you just beat me to it. Nice haul, so. They're boobies!
They're not boobs.
There's 2, there's 1 on each side. They're just not very close together, which is kind of like some older women's boobs.
All right, let's not talk about old ladies' boobs.
What's the coolest Frankenstein creature you've seen? I need ideas for my theme. That's Kim Spider.
The coolest Frankenstein character that I've seen?
Ooh. I like with Robert De Niro's.
Not even. I'm trying to think. When was Robert De Niro Frankenstein?
I can't remember. I think it was a made-for-TV movie, but somehow they made it look like he had a cleft lip where it was up like this. So it had a little. You could see his teeth.
So, and I don't know, I guess a lot of this I see as sort of just almost like sculpting. I think about, some of Alan's videos and Alan's hangouts, and where he said you're just building up and building up and building up. And this is almost the same thing, only rather than building up, you're just taking away. Just take a little bit away at a time until you get the shape that you want. One of the reasons I don't like doing this with a Dremel is that there's so much foam, dusty pieces, and it gets very aggravating when they sit there and stick to you. Anybody who's carved out tombstones with a Dremel knows how much of a pain it can be. There's all these little staticky wads of foam sticking to
I'll do
everything.
you one better.
What's that?
I have made haunt walls using the white beady foam.
Yeah,
Goes
beauty
back-
foam does the same thing.
And then I also used blue foam. When we got it down in Arizona, we finally got some in. I got half of the flat that they got. I don't know if it was something that they had gotten as error, but I was like, I'll take half. So I spent 3 months, my sister, building hot walls, killing a Dremel or two.
Now for the inside of these, what I did is I took a piece of 220 grit sandpaper, wrapped it around a pencil, and taped it, just so it kind of holds the form. And that lets me get a nice round thick the inside of these, where now it's just a pointed groove. And then afterwards, this will be very rough. It won't be a nice smooth cut like you would normally see. But when I paint it, hopefully a lot of that will fill in.
Darn yucko. And just don't knock over a big jar of acetone.
No, that would probably be a bad thing.
Yeah. Just like knocking over a container of latex.
Yes. We know people who've knocked over latex.
Oh yeah. I've got pictures of it.
And when you do this, you want to be really, really light, because even this 220 grit sandpaper will take big chunks of your foam out and really leave you with a lot that's going to need to be filled in later. I always keep a nice little paintbrush here. Nice dry clean paintbrush handy. Makes getting rid of these little foam boogers much easier.
So aside from the X-Acto knife, the 220 grit sandpaper, the pencil, the brush, is there anything else you would recommend?
Patience.
What if you don't have it?
If you don't have patience, I would not recommend taking on a highly detailed tombstone.
Well, what about that one thing that you were doing on your blog today
What's that?
with the
Oh, the heat gun?
with the vinyl?
I'm not sold on the results of that. I'm not entirely sold on the results of that. It worked, but it didn't work like I had wanted it to. I don't know if anybody's seen, I did post a new blog today where I tried using a combination of vinyl, the vinyl decals that we use for our vehicle, and placing that on the foam. And over here, putting that on the foam and then using the heat gun to melt the foam down. And I was hoping that the vinyl would protect the my other piece of. I was hoping that the vinyl would protect the foam better than it did.
Well, it was your first experiment.
It wasn't a complete failure, but it didn't work out as well as I had hoped. And now I think this part is what really sells the look of these leaves. And that's when you're cutting the borders out, the outside edges of these leaves out. And I'll show you what I mean.
Do you have any other tombstones downstairs that you might consider working on before Halloween?
You got a whole bunch of them downstairs that I'm going to be working on. I just don't know what I'm going to do with them yet.
Well, how about ones that you started but haven't finished?
Well, there's that one skull one there that.
The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, that one. And what I'm doing here is just like this. This is the same way I carve out these letters. So a little bit of a sawing motion up and down and keeping that, just trying to keep the angle of the blade consistent. Sometimes I'll use both hands, one hand to steady. And Now, I'm assuming that next week I probably won't get a chance to do any of this, but the week after, well, the week after Midwest, I'm hoping that this stone will be done, and I'm going to start on some new stones. So if people want to see a stone from the beginning, including carving out the epitaph, I can do another one of these.
Ah, Alan's watching. Says looking good.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I will always Sir Alan.
Kim Spider. Kim Spider would like to know what he used to replicate stained glass on his mausoleum.
Stained glass? I didn't put any stained glass on my mausoleum,
You
did I?
don't even have a mausoleum. I do believe you mean someone else.
Unless he's talking about the top of the facade.
I don't think you have a stained glass look.
No, I don't. Would I use, though?
Jen Hunt Smith did stained glass on hers. I just can't remember what she used. Let's check the goal.
Yeah, I don't know what I would use for stained glass. I never really thought about it. I suppose I would probably just use probably acrylic. A sheet of acrylic. And then some hot glue to make the lines. I don't know how well it would work, but
I get distracted by her horse truck first. I apologize about that. That's the rabbit getting angry.
why is your rabbit getting angry over here?
I don't know. I'm moody.
She needs to go to sleep. All right.
Oh, Mark Fawcett was needing to ask. Did you ever find the Phone Factory set you picked up at last MHC. Oh, did you ever find the foam factory set you picked up at last MHC of much use?
As of yet, I have not. I tried using it for the facade and found that the multi-tool, which is basically a hot or a wood burner with a exchangeable tip, to be my best friend on that project. The Hotwire Foam Factory stuff was interesting, and I'll probably find a use for it at some point. Just at this point, it didn't help me out too much. And I haven't had much of a need for it as of yet. I have some other foam projects that I'm planning, so that might change. I hope. I'd like to be able to get some use out of that. I really do put way too much time into some of my tombstones. Trying to get this light at a better angle for. There we go.
Oh, Sandy wants to know, on your last blog you mentioned a tombstone carving contest. Are you going to enter? This tombstone is quite beautiful so far.
I'm thinking about entering this tombstone, providing I can get it finished. So I'd like to enter this tombstone. I don't know. I saw the stones that won last year, and there's a lot of people that do a lot of nice work. So I'm not confident that this would be a contest winning stone, but I like it, and I definitely like the realistic looking stones. So I'm probably going to submit this as my entry for it. I don't normally enter contests. I don't know why. I usually mean to. But like everything else, I tend to keep myself too busy for my own good. And I forget a lot of things in my old age here. I found that rounding these darn olives off.
Booties.
They're not bowies, they're olives. Should be a little bit challenging here. Just because you gotta get so deep down into here just to make that nice and clean. So I try and do this little popcorning technique. So I don't have to go too deep. And hopefully the paint, when this is done and I paint it, the paint will pick up, the dark paint will pick up in there and make it look deeper than it actually is. I think I'm actually going a little bit deeper than I went on the other side, but that's all right.
So, if we do another live piece, what are you thinking about doing this time around?
I don't know.
How about
I was thinking of picking something out of our photos from the West Glenville Cemetery. Something until later into the 1700s. Maybe Urn and Willow. I do like the Urn and Willow tombstones.
why not do something with another prop, paper prop?
What do you mean?
One that involves
Paper?
paper.
Paper mache?
Yeah.
Well, how is that? Oh, you mean for a live thing?
Breaker?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's,
That one downstairs you haven't finished yet.
yeah, I know. And I'm sure people want to see the groundbreaker. So, well, we'll see. Now, once in a while, I found that when you just can't get the right angle with the X-Acto, if you just can't get down to shave off the right amount of foam, so one of these little utility knife blades will work.
Now, Odd Source wants to know how many times do you change blades?
I used to change blades a lot, and since I found out that you can just oil the blade up and it seems to last a lot better, I've been doing that. We throw a little bit of oil, just a thin layer of oil on that blade, and it cuts like new. You see this blade?
Ultimately, when you're carving a tombstone now, how many blades would you say now that you oil the blades that you go through? Just one?
I've only used one blade, and I did the entire, well, I did this, the feathers on this side, and the entire border on that side with one nut, with one blade. I think I used to switch blades every, probably twice in a stone, maybe 3 times. But since I started oiling them, I found that I don't have to switch them out as much. I really do. You have to enjoy doing this to put a lot of work into a stone like this. You really have to enjoy carving, because it can be a lot of work. I mean, I put I think I put about 56 hours, I think was the total. 56 hours into that Celtic cross. And about halfway through, not even halfway through, I think about 3 hours into doing the border on the base, which took just around 40 hours alone. I think about 3 hours into that, I was cursing myself saying, what did you start? So you really do have to, you really do have to love doing this. To do this kind of detail. Typical stones, the typical tombstones for the haunt, not so much. They're a lot easier. Doing the popcorning can take a little while if you're doing a large area, but other than that, they're not too bad. I feel like these bottoms here aren't shaped quite right.
Oh, there it is.
And I think that's because I remember now. I did use the Dremel for those.
What?
Um,
What did I miss?
doing the do I have a, yeah, I do. Doing the bottoms of the olives.
Gotcha.
They need to be rounded out a little bit more than I can do with a X-Acto knife. So I'll take my trusty Dremel here.
Triangle Hunter wants to know, how many X-Acto blades do you go through on this type of stone? Do they dull quickly?
I used to think they dulled quickly. I used to think they did. Not so much anymore. I think it's more just keeping the blade oiled. The blade dries up and it starts to grab the foam, and if you can throw a little bit of that sewing machine oil on it, it makes the blade cut through the foam a lot better.
Move the either move the camera down a little bit, or
Well, I
or
was
did
just,
you already do it?
yeah, I was just hitting those two little spots, or those four little spots there. Always keep the Dremel handy just in case.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Back to
Yeah, cool.
What's that?
My feet are getting cold. I'm gonna turn this off for a bit because I'm freezing.
That's right. I think doing this kind of carving, you tend to learn to become ambidextrous with the X-Acto knife. Since you have the foam there to control the blade, it's not quite like trying to write with your offhand. I think that olive looks pretty darn good. So we'll go on to the next one.
OddSource wants to know, what are your plans on the finished product of the tombstone, weathered or natural gray hue tombstone?
I'm not sure. It will be, because the original stone, I believe was some type of a sandstone. It wasn't worn like these stones. From my experience, these stones were typically done in slate, and so they generally don't wear. But this one in this picture here was a little bit more worn than they normally get. So I don't know if I'm going to try and keep with the photograph on this, or if I'm going to try and take my own creative liberties with it. Just haven't decided that yet. And a lot of that I'll decide as I'm painting it. The base coat's going to be a gray anyways. I always start with the gray. So then I guess I just see where it goes from there and kind of decide on the fly.
How long do you think it's going to take you to finish that tombstone?
Finish this one?
Yeah.
Not too long. I mean, I probably won't finish it tonight, but I'll probably sit down here tomorrow before work and put an hour or two into it, and then that should be almost finished carving by then. Oh. I suppose I could trouble you for a cup of that nice hot coffee you got over there.
Oh, sure. Be happy to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This spot here seems to be giving me a lot of difficulty.
How much sugar?
2.5 if it's an empty cup.
2.5?
Yeah. All right, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, don't get her all fired up. It should be hopping around over there making all kinds of noise.
Oh, she's too cute for that. I can't believe it's already almost 10:30.
Yep. We got till about 11:15, right?
Okay.
I said I was going to do this for about 2 hours. Now, if anybody's interested in seeing me do another one of these on, you know, a different stage of the tombstone, more specifically a simpler tombstone and doing the epitaph and stuff, please let me know, because I don't mind doing this. If I'm sitting here carving, I don't mind sharing it with people.
Quiet.
Huh?
Come on, folks. Give us some questions.
Yeah, give me some questions. I'm here for you all. Everybody had wanted to be able to ask questions on how I do certain things, so ask away.
Oh, Psychosis, thanks for the invite. This is looking pretty darn awesome already. Yes, I'm actually wearing a shirt.
Oh, that's Bruce. Hey, Bruce. I'm glad you're dressed tonight.
Boy, the way that sounds, it's not like he does Hulk Hogan when he gets home from work. Oh, I'm sick of my clothes.
You know, any of you folks who are watching, if you have a webcam and you want to sign in there, I think Christy put a link up there. You're welcome to sign in and share your face with the world. Somehow that olive looks a little weird to me.
He says, okay, I lied. There is no shirt.
That figures. Why am I not surprised? Oh, speaking of which, Bruce, we did T-shirts tonight. The boys and I got the rest of the T-shirts done for Midwest.
What's the problem with that? Then he doesn't wear T-shirts.
Well,
He
it's
doesn't wear
because
shirts.
that's because I have to give him one. Bruce needs a T-shirt. He asked. Actually, I told him that we're going to be doing the shirts. So, Bruce, the shirts are done. I don't know if you. I don't remember if you were planning on going to Midwest or not. If not, we can get one mailed out to you. If you are, then we'll see you there and we'll give it to you then. All right, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick on this olive here. Time to move on.
Oh, it says I'll join. What's the link? Good question.
It's the link. Isn't it the link that you posted in Hunter's Hangout?
You post the link.
Huh?
I just posted the YouTube, dude. I'll post the link.
I thought that's what. Oh, all right. I thought that's what you posted.
You come here to my computer. And read.
All right. So I thought that's what I posted from your computer.
I hope that works. I'm not sure.
I have arrived.
Hey.
I just seen the link in the Hunter's Hangout page.
Oh, I just posted.
I said,
Oh, yeah.
oh, no.
How are you, Bruce?
I'm all right. So far.
I'm going cross-eyed, I think.
As soon as I hit the link and I was watching, I said, "Oh my God, are those boobs?"
That's
I
you
knew
know, Melissa went and said
the Hunter's Hangout.
Melissa said that they're boobs. She was adamant that they are boobs. I was adamant that they're not. And then her argument was, look at the size of the pumpkin, and then tell me that those aren't boobs. I'll still grow that big. Well, my argument was, how do you know it's not one of those miniature pumpkins? Right? So how's it looking over here, Bruce, from there?
Looking pretty darn good, if I do say so.
That's good, because I don't see, it's amazing how different it looks when you're sitting here staring down at it like this, as opposed to when you step back and start looking at it from other angles.
Yeah.
I sat there and when I did the other side, I sat there and I said, "Oh my God, this looks terrible." And I sat there tweaking and poking and prodding and pulling and carving, and then finally I said, "You know what? It's going to have to be good enough because I just can't do this anymore." So then I stepped back and I put it up and I was looking at it and I was like, "Wow, that looks a lot better from here."
Yeah. I commend all you guys for that because I have no patience for that. I'll get some little foamy letters, peel it, stick it, call it a day.
Well, that works too. I've seen a lot of tombstones that actually look very nice with those foam stick-on letters. This was meant to be a challenge. I wanted to challenge myself to do something outside of my comfort level, above and beyond what I'm used to doing.
I like how the T and the H are integrated.
Oh, yeah, that's something that they did that was very common in the old tombstones. Um,
I feel.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Phil, how are you?
Good, good. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. So yeah, what they used to do is because they put these lengthy epitaphs in here, they needed to conserve space. So you'd see letters like the H and the E would be combined, the T and the H would be combined. A lot of times they'd have, and I don't think there's any on this one. Yeah, well here on the word years, you'd see they would just scrunch a letter in at the end because it didn't fit.
Odd Source asked, what brand of paint do you use to paint these? The paint that you use is water-based or alcohol-based? You said slate. Are you going to show a how-to tutorial on this technique?
I'm not doing this as a slate stone.
So are you going to paint it in just
I'm
spray?
I'm going to paint it as it were. I'm going to age it and paint it as if it were a sandstone stone, because that's what the original looks like. What kind of weathering I do on it, I still haven't decided yet. And the more I look at that, the more I look at the heat gun, I think I'm going to steer clear of the heat gun on this one. And I think if I do anything, I'm going to do it with the spray paint like I did on the other stone there. And I forgot what I was just talking about. Totally forgot. What was it talking about, guys?
I blanked out. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was talking about the letters. That's right. How the letters get combined to save space, and they squish up little tiny letters here. And
Well, here's a question. How many times have you cut yourself so far?
never. I've never cut myself carving a tombstone.
Knock on wood.
I don't even think I've ever even come close. I don't think I've had any close calls on it not with the tombstones, anyways.
Nice. I was just watching your vlog, and then I saw that you were doing this live event, and I was just like, ah, oh, damn, might as well jump on. So.
Absolutely. I love these chats. I mean, if they had a chat every night, I'd probably be on it.
Oh, no, I would too.
Because I come home from work and I can't stand my place of employment. not a fun. It's not a bad job. It's just one of those jobs that eats away at you. You know, I deal with the stuff that we deal with at work every day. It takes a lot out of you. So it's nice to come home and chat with friends and laugh and drink and forget about the day.
You guys are doing the Hoochie tour, right?
Abso-friggin-lutely. I am. Christy won't.
Okay. I'm excited for that
I'm,
one.
I'm going through. Carly's going through. I don't know about Jeff and Julie. But I'm absolutely going through.
All I've heard is nothing but good things about it, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have not been through a whole lot of haunted houses. We really don't have anything significant out here.
You guys got the Headless Horseman. It's in Lower New York.
Yeah, that's in Ulster County.
Yeah, I
And
went to that this year.
how was it? Because I was thinking about going out there.
Do not go early in the season. I went early in the season to try to avoid lines and everything like that, and they had probably like a quarter of their actors in there. It was pretty bad, actually.
Yeah, we have the Double M. We have the Double M Western store, which I've heard mixed things about. And I'm not going to knock them because I've never been there. A lot of people tell me that they suck. I think that they're more of a family-oriented type haunt. I don't think they're trying to go out there for the gore and scream and wow factor. But I'll tell you, they've got market cornered out here.
Yeah, I will say the Headless Horseman was very big. It was a huge haunt. First off, yeah, but like I said, it's pretty cool. It's one of a kind, I would say. You know, you have your hayride, which is normal, but then you have like 8 or 9 haunted houses after that you have to go through, and they're all different, which is really good. And then like their cornfield that they have is pretty awesome. If they, like, I was going through the cornfield and there was just tons of spots where you could see like actors were supposed to be, but there was like nobody in there, and I was just like, damn, we're missing out. So I didn't get like scared or anything half the time. So it wasn't. I tell you the truth, for what I paid for it, I wasn't satisfied basically.
Oh, that's never good.
No, I'd go back if it was later in the season, but I just don't want to wait like 5 hours to go through a haunted house. So
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem with us. We're just, you know, we're so busy at the time of year.
Yeah.
That, you know, I'm sitting there. I don't know about you, but I'm sitting there trying to build and scrambling to get things done, and I really just don't have time to go out and visit the haunted houses.
No, and that's I tried jumping on projects earlier this year. So like I'm building a facade now, and then all my neighbors were like coming up to me like, "Are you building already?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm not waiting until last minute this year." And they're just like, "You're crazy," and I'm just like, "No, I'm not. Go look online. You'll see all these other haunters building already.
Yep,
This is build season."
absolutely.
So. Well, yeah, that's why I try getting some projects done early, just to be able to go out and check out a couple professional haunts early, because we don't open until like the 3rd or 2nd week of October. So usually there's a couple pro haunts open early, but
Yeah. See, now I only set up for Halloween night. We don't even do a walkthrough here.
oh well,
We're hoping to, just because we have the room.
yeah,
Just up till recently, I really didn't have the resources available to do anything that big.
Hey, if you ever need help, let me know. I'll drive up there one day, one weekend or whatever. Help you guys out.
Hey,
Sweet.
you're welcome to come up anytime and build or just shoot the breeze, drinking
Yeah.
drinking bullshit.
Sounds good to me.
Matter of fact, we have season passes to the Six Flag Park out here in Lake George.
Great Adventure?
Great Escape.
Oh, Great Escape. Okay. I've never actually been there.
It's I've never actually been to their haunted venue, but
No,
that's
I've
why
never.
I bought the season passes last year and still didn't get a chance to go to it.
I went to the one in Springfield, Mass. Way back when I was like real young,
Yeah.
but I never went through half of them because I was too scared back then. I was like 9 or 10, so. But we were up in Lake George this past Labor Day for Saratoga, the racetrack,
Yep.
and we were out there, and I saw a bunch of signs, them trying to promote the all their haunted houses and stuff, and I was just like, damn, I'd like to come and check that out, but it's a little bit of a troop.
If you're in Saratoga, boy, you're just minutes from us.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Steve, is that a little sandpaper?
what's that?
Is that sandpaper you have on there?
Yeah, just a little bit of 220 grit sandpaper I got wrapped around the pencil. The pencil was the right size for this for the roundness, I guess you'd say, that I needed for inside of these folds. And it works. The sandpaper works great for just taking down just rounding off these peaks.
Bruce, I gotta say, you've been busy since being on Hunters Hangout. All these props I see you're building, I'm like, damn, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jen Hahn Smith here. She says, I am here. It's good that you're here, Jen. I have something I need to ask you.
Hi, Jen. Jen, why don't you jump in? Why don't you jump into the chat?
Yeah, then I can just ask you while you're on the phone. She also says, are those boobs above the part where you're working there? That girl you were making?
You know what? Yes, you caught me. You found me out.
It's all about the boobs. And Kim Kennedy says, hi, everyone.
Hi, Kim. Jen, they are not boobs. They are actually olives. At least that's my understanding. And again, for those who missed it, this is a replica of a existing stone. I can't tell you where the stone is because I really don't know. I stumbled upon this picture back when I was doing research for the font for these Death Head tombstones. And because there is no one out there who offers a font even remotely close to this.
Well, somebody has their marching orders now.
Well, I'll tell you, I think a lot of people would do stones with this font if they could get their hands on it.
Jen, just to ask, because somebody asked earlier, and since you've done stained glass, What did you use to replicate stained glass on your mausoleum?
And we all wait on bated breath for her answer.
Type faster!
You know, I bet you if you went back and watched Jen's blog, you'd get that answer.
I don't know if she did this at her blog.
Oh, sorry, honey, I just blew foam stuff all over the place.
You're gonna bag it up. I'm not worried.
I am?
Yes.
Oh. So, Phil, no, I can't say as I blame you for taking the flight.
You can't blame me for taking it.
I can't blame you for taking it. I wouldn't want to sit in a car for 9 hours either.
Hey, I was gonna if I could get my money back, I was gonna drive out with you guys. But
Yeah.
the fact that they were such a pain to try to even like they were like, oh well, you know, we don't do this, and I'm just like, well, what do I need to do to get it? And they're like, well, you need to have like a reason to not, you know, be able to like somebody in your family die. And I'm just like, oh my god, no. So I kind of gave up on it. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll take the flight. So
So they won.
yeah. Next year, if you guys go, I'll just jump in with you guys, or I'll drive out there, whatever, it doesn't matter. Pick you guys up, something like
You
that.
should have told him your pet tree sloth died.
What's that?
I say he should have told him his pet tree sloth died. I can imagine the looks they would be giving each other, like, what?
We will most likely be going next year. If I have my way, we're going next year. And yeah, hopefully. See, we're riding out with Carly this year. So she's got the Honda Pilot.
Oh, nice.
And last year we went out with Don and Mary Powell. This year they had something come up, so they couldn't go. But
Next year will
We-
be my 5th anniversary.
we took Christy's CRV out there,
last year.
and we filled that thing. I mean, we absolutely filled that thing with crap that
It
we
was
brought back.
Yeah.
Did anybody on the way back give you guys like a crazy look of like, what the hell is going on there?
No, because it was all like we bought a lot of miscellaneous stuff. We didn't like I didn't buy any bodies or anything like that. Not last year. We might buy some bodies this year just for the sheer fun of throwing it in the passenger seat and watching people look at you funny. But last year was a lot of boxes of stuff and you know buckets of latex and the hot wire foam factory stuff and gallons of paint.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect this year so far. I looked at the vendor list and I see a bunch of, you know, great vendors, but I have no idea what I'm going to get myself into. I feel like I'm going to get there and I'm going to be like, oh, I want that. Oh, no, I want that. Oh, no. And it's just like, here's my credit card. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I sat there and I was talking to her and I was like, you know what? I've only got $2,000. I don't think we've got enough.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I'll go, oh, I want that. How much is that? $10,000. Oh, I did want that. Oh, no. Can I just, like, take my picture, stand next to it, and I can tell people it's mine?
Post it on Hunter's Hangout, be like, hey, look what I just bought.
Right?
I mean, I wanted to do the I wanted to try my hand at painting masks. And Screenline Studios sells the unpainted sock masks, or half masks, or whatever you want to call them.
I got one. I got one. I didn't even make a mold for it. It was a quickie. I just painted the latex right on the armature. Did it a couple layers. Slapped it on the sock mask. Put some more latex on that bad boy. Put some slime on it. Call it a day.
Well, that'll work.
Kind of
But,
looks pricey.
I really wanted to try painting them, and I needed prop heads. So these those masks that Screenline Studios sells, some of them fit very nicely on wig heads. So I glued them on, or I used the latex and adhered them to the foam wig heads, and was able to make heads for some, for figures for out in the haunt. So what do you got planned for? You're not. Are you going to Midwest, Bruce? I don't remember if you said. Or is she not on?
Huh?
I want to see Bruce's icon. I don't remember if he said he was going to Midwest before or not.
Bruce?
Yeah.
You got a big smile. Bruce! Are you going to Midwest?
No.
Ah,
Damn it.
damn you. So Phil, you're up for the Cards Against Humanity, right?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be there. As long as I get the bigger, blacker day.
Actually, I never pulled that one out.
Oh, you didn't pull out? I thought. Oh, that was Tater that pulled it out of the cover. Oh, okay.
Yep, I have not tore the cover open yet.
Hey, you gotta get that one out.
What to who?
I haven't really haven't even thought about it, just because I've been working on all this other crap. But yeah, it's on the agenda. Maybe I'll vlog it. Oh, my back's killing me. Christy had me slaving out in the garden last weekend,
Yeah, I'm letting you rest now.
building raised beds and filling them with mulch or filling them with compost. And, gosh, she works me to the bone. Nobody's asking any questions. Where's all those people asking questions?
I don't know. I'm trying to edit my vlog right now.
What's that?
So I'm trying to edit a vlog right now to put up on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw your window thing, Phil.
Yeah, the facade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started that this weekend. It kicked my ass. Oh my
Oh.
God. My back and legs this morning, I couldn't even like sit up and by myself. It was so difficult. I had to like roll out of bed.
Ow.
You saw the one that we did last year here, right?
Yeah, yep.
I can feel for you. I know
Yeah,
what you went through.
it's cool and all, I will say, but after, doing it, I was just like, holy cow, I got myself into a lot more than I was expecting. Especially doing it myself, I was just like, oh man. So,
Now, are you skinning it with like foam or?
did I do it in foam?
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you going to? I haven't seen any updates, but then I'm not supposed to be surfing Facebook at work, so
Yeah, no,
they.
I didn't post any new updates. It's all out of wood.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's gonna be a heavy. It's not that heavy. I have the siding and everything on it, but it's not that bad. It's 8 feet tall by four, actually 8 feet wide. Um, but then there's a roof section that goes on top of it that I got half of it done. But that's what I'm working on the video right now for, is to get that up so I could post that and let people see what I've built so far. But
now
yeah,
is it? How big is it though? When it's finished, how big is it going to be?
it's gonna be 10 feet tall by 17 feet wide.
And are you making it modular? Or?
Yeah, it's two sections, two 8 foot sections, and then a 1 foot section to attach to the fence. So, but I would show a picture, but it's not gonna show up on here. I know you're busy. I don't want to take you away from that. So,
Kim wants to know how big are your phone?
2 inch. Foam is 2 inch here, and it's nice that we can actually get that.
yeah.
You can get that down where you are, right, Phil?
What's that?
You can get 2 inch foam down there, right?
2 inch? Oh, 2 inch foam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's at Home Depot and all that. So.
But Home Depot sells crap now.
Oh, really? Well, it's expensive though.
Um, the
You're talking about the
foam they used to sell.
the insulation
Um,
stuff that you can buy, right? Is that what you're talking about, or just talking about straight foam?
Yeah, this stuff, the pink and blue foam. Actually, Home Depot sells the pink and Lowe's sells the blue.
Oh, okay. I went into Lowe's for like the first time the other day, and I was surprised about how much foam stuff they actually did have. I was like, damn, I got to go there now because they
But
have a lot more.
the thing is, the foam has changed. Give me just a minute, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because this is the old foam. This is the foam that you used to be able to buy at Lowe's.
Ooh, this is a good question. When you get back, I got another one for you.
All right.
Oh, that's right. I got another one.
They fell
What's up? Oh, that's pretty sick.
off mask.
Holy cow.
All I did was took the armature. I just painted it halfway with the latex.
Oh, okay.
I did like 5 layers.
Really?
Yeah, and then I peeled it off real easy. Put a little bit of powder on it so it didn't stick to itself. And then I put the soft mask over the armature, painted it a little bit, put it on, squish it down, and painted more over it, let it dry, did it again.
Nice.
The only thing about it is it's freaking hot.
Oh God, I have those like professional masks that they have, like the silicone. Man, you put that on for 10 minutes, you are sweating your ass
Sweating
off, man.
balls off, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brought in the heads to answer a question for Rock on 9/11.
You brought in
By
the
the
what?
way,
That's styrofoam head.
Oh.
Because he asked questions Not about the tombstone. Have you had any problems with latex eating into your styrofoam heads? Have you adhered to the streamlined masks to them?
Mm,
And
okay.
happens to have.
All right. This is the new foam that they carry. And you
That's
can
the new
see
foam?
the texture. This is the foam that Lowe's carries now.
Wow.
You can see the texture.
Yeah, holy cow, what the heck?
And that's on both sides.
Can you peel that off or no?
No,
Like a
that's
layer?
actually the texture of the outside of the foam. It looks like maybe it was the process that they used to cut it into sheets. Maybe it's too hot, or I don't know. Because it's got like a sheen to it, and then it's got all those little cracks and crannies. Whereas this stuff, this is the old stuff, and I can still get this stuff at another place that we have out here. But you can see the texture on this,
Smooth.
if I can even get the camera to focus. Yeah, there you go, nice and smooth.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Holy cow, it's a lot different.
Yeah, and this is the stuff that they used to carry, that Lowe's used to carry.
Huh.
I don't remember what the brand was. I think it was Dow.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
And I don't know why they changed. This new stuff is, well, it looks like it's Lowe's brand. Same stuff, extruded polystyrene. But just the texture of the boards is not anything I would want to use tombstone for.
No. They're catching on. They're catching on to us. That's why they're changing it.
Well, no,
It is
you
trying to save money.
you would think that when they realize that there's a market for this, besides home use, besides using it for insulating, that they'd want to cater to that.
Yep.
Well, that's why I said Dow needs to have a vendor booth at MHC.
Yeah. So if you're ever looking for the good stuff for doing the tombstones, you can get it up here.
Okay.
I think I want to say a 4x8 sheet was like $30. So it's a little pricey. It's not terrible. It's $30 or $40. I don't know. But when you compare it to the price of what they're selling those little crap tombstones at like Walmart and stuff for, they're selling those for $15-20.
Right.
And if
Yep.
I carved, or I cut out 7 tombstones, 7 good sizable tombstones out of one 4x8 sheet. So 7 tombstones for $40, still a hell of a lot cheaper than what you'd be buying them if you're buying them at the store.
And there's more detail on them too.
Yep. And they can say whatever the hell you want them to say.
Right.
I have one store-bought tombstone in my haunt. That's only because it arrived on my front lawn 5 years ago. That little tiny tombstone there. It was my 40th birthday, and Debbie Roberts lives right over here by us. So on my 40th birthday, she came over and she had a tombstone that she had bought, and it said, rest in peace. She put on there in white paint, my youth. and then left and then stuck that in my cemetery display when I wasn't home.
Wow.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Okay.
With Rocco on 9/11 said he used a cheap spirit mask, and I think that was part of his problem because he says that the spirit mask was laying against the styrofoam head and it ate away at the styrofoam. It was probably cheap latex.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's the one that you got for the mask from Streamline, and I think you got the latex from Streamline as well.
No, the
And-
latex was I don't know what the latex was. This is the one wig head that I did. That's the Streamline mask. And I tried my hand at hair punching, and it didn't work out too well, so I stopped. But yeah, that's what I did with my Streamline masks. I just stuck them on hair, painted them.
But that was before last Halloween, and it's still doing pretty good.
Yeah, no, yeah, the latex is fine on the wig head. Didn't eat into it or anything. I'll tell you one question I get asked a lot, just for anybody who's watching. People are always asking what the best thing to glue foam with is. The best glue to use on these tombstones, and I have to say, in my experience, it's Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue works great on foam. It is foam, so it doesn't eat the foam. And then for gluing on stuff like moss, I used urethane glue. The brand name is Liquid Fusion. You can get that right at Michael's. It's like $6 for a little 2-ounce bottle. And that stuff works great for gluing on moss and stuff like that.
You're worried about being on your iPad and your phone. Oh my God, no one's on their iPad and their phone. Who mopped the floor without washing the mop out first? That's fine, that's fine.
I'm sitting here getting ahead of myself. I didn't finish the one spot. I'm already starting the next spot.
Oh, Malcolm McDowell is going to play Dr. Phibbs.
Who? Doctor who?
From Vincent Price, the Dr. Phibbs.
Oh,
I can't
all right.
explain it.
All right, you don't have to explain it. I know what you're talking about.
I know it was a jacked up movie, but it was pretty interesting.
Well, Bruce dropped out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what else is on your agenda for the build season besides the facade there, Phil?
I have a lot of stuff planned. I know I will not get to half of them. So, but a couple other things are a couple pneumatic props. I want to make a scissor mech. I don't have a drill press or anything, so I got to figure out how I can drill those, correctly.
Well, you can bring them up here.
You have one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I might.
We have a small drill press now. If it's anything huge, we won't be able to.
No. I'm probably gonna make it out of aluminum stock. So.
Oh yeah, we got a drill press here.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I can do something like that. I've gotten my hand into pneumatics a little bit, so I got some knowledge into it, but not a lot. But that seems like something I'd like to get done. And then I'm trying to think what else. I gotta clean out my woods area because we're going into the woods this year. So I gotta remove some brush and everything and try to clean that out and flatten it so nobody trips and falls and tries to sue me or anything.
Yeah. No, we don't want that.
No. So it's gonna starting probably like at the end of next month. It's probably just gonna be full force haunt stuff. So, and then I'm hoping to head out for the cauldron creep that you guys end up doing.
Yeah, I really gotta get. I mean, I got the parts list all put together, and everybody's been asking about it, and it's just, like I said, it never seems like there's enough hours in the day. But the cauldron creep, once you get going on it, it's really not a difficult prop. It's really quick and easy build. So, I mean, I built mine in just, I think, maybe over a course of like 3 days.
Well.
One more question. Rock on 9/11, you may have already explained, but is this tombstone a recreation of one that you've seen, or or the side panels a design of all your own?
Nope, this is a replica of an existing stone, and I'll pull that picture up if I can find it again. It's right here. That's the original stone. So, see? They look like boobs on there, too. If I can get that damn picture, if I can get the photo held straight so it'll focus. Yeah, I didn't take a whole lot of creative liberties with this one. This was more like I said earlier, it's me challenging myself, getting outside of the comfort zone and doing something that I'm not used to doing. You know, having to abide by a specific design rather than just, you know, doing whatever works for me.
What other props you have planned for this year?
We've got that. What the hell did I call it? I mean, what did I say? It was the harvester. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It basically, if you were to Google the Scare Factory and look at Google the Scare Factory's what the hell is it? Necromancer. That's pretty much what I'm trying to do, something similar to that, but on a much smaller scale and not animated.
It was search what again?
The Scare Factory, Necromancer.
That huge thing? Holy cow.
Mine's only going to be about, I'm guessing about 10 or 12 foot tall.
That thing is sick, but holy shit, that thing is big.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that one's like, well, you see the body in his hand, right?
Yeah.
That's human sized, that body.
Wow.
I think it stands like 24 feet tall. It's fully erect.
Huh.
Yes, I said erect.
I mean, I wanted to make a prop, something like that, but damn. I wanted to make what was it, like the Pumpkin King? The thing that would, like, come up from, you know, I think the guy that's going to be on Hunter's Hangout this week, Canyon Trail, something like that. He did a mini one that was like 12 feet tall, but then there's like the big one which goes up to like 24 feet tall.
That's that big talking pumpkin guy, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's Scare Factory.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I mean, I also have something planned in the in the little haunt journal. But it's the Spill Your Guts. It's that like optical illusion where someone's standing behind it and it looks like your guts are just spilling out. But it's obviously just a mirror set up in like the correct, you know, form or whatever, so that, you know, when you walk by, it just seems like there's nothing there behind them when they're just standing behind a set of mirrors. So I have that planned, but we'll see.
Well, hope it works out for you.
Yeah, I'll have a video for that one too, if I do it.
If you need any help with anything, especially tools-wise, I mean, you need to come up here and do any work, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll definitely let you know. Off. I'm on a rotating schedule now, so my days off change every 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'll give you a good heads up before I plan on ever heading up there, whatever. I don't mind heading up to that area either. I'm pretty familiar with it because we've gone to the Saratoga area probably for like 5 or 6 years now, so I know my way around there.
Well, if you get on, if you're going up 87, which I assume is how you're coming up probably up 90. You guys travel up to the Northway, and then it's 87 out there, so.
Yeah, we kind of go through, if you're kind of familiar with like Connecticut, we go through New Canaan. I think it's like Route 9 or something. I don't want to say Route 9. It might be, I don't remember exactly, but it's going through like the back roads. Then it brings you to the Mass Pike. You get on the Mass Pike for, I think it's like 2 or 3 exits, and then we just take back roads again there. So.
Yeah. So, well, you taking back roads after the Mass Pike?
It might be Route 7 that we take. Does that sound familiar? I'd have to look at Google Maps. It's been like 7 or 8 months, but
might be Route 9. I'm trying to think of where Route 7 comes in out there.
Okay, yeah, we start off on Route 7.
Yeah.
We get on to, what is this one? Route 33, then we get on I-90, which is the Mass Pike. Then we get back onto Route 7, yeah, back on Route 7. 87, we get on.
Yeah, all right, so yeah, 87 is the north way.
Yeah.
So if you're coming up into Saratoga on 87,
yeah,
then if you were to get off at exit 9, which is Clifton Park.
Okay.
You get off. I'm trying to think. You're headed north. You get off. You get off the exit and you come to a traffic light, and you just take a left, and that'll take you right down into Glenville, which is the next town up. Literally like 15 minutes from here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you can get up that far, you just get off at exit 9 and head. I want to say it's going to be west on 146. Just stay right on that road until you hit Route 50, and then Route 50 south down into the village of Scotia, and it's like 15 minutes from the highway.
Rock on 911 says awesome, thanks. And Grace Moontail says I'd love to know what the Norse tombstones look like.
Did the Norse bury there?
Sometimes.
I thought they were known for their
That's usually
burial at seas.
That was the royalty.
I don't know. Look it up.
Wow, show. Oh, they did have tombstones. Let's see. Yeah, if you Google Norse tombstones, there are a lot out there.
Okay. Sounds like a reason for a road trip.
We probably have to go either to oh, that's funny.
That's another thing,
Places.
Phil. If we'll have to let you know if we're ever hitting Salem again.
If you're hitting what?
You ever go out to Salem?
No, actually I haven't.
This place is great. Oh, hey, somebody's banging me.
Have you thought about going out to Haunted Overload out in Lee, New Hampshire?
I thought about it. I know it's not that far.
Yeah, for me it's like I think 3.5 hours or something like that. But I've been debating on going up to check that out because everybody raves about it. So, and after seeing them on Hunters Hangout a couple times, I'm like, damn, I really want to go out there and check it out. So
Oh, so Bruce got bumped off. He said some asshat. Sure, he's using my word. Some asshat sheared a pole in half, and the transformers blew.
Oh.
I'm guessing that Bruce is now out of power.
that sucks. Damn.
Oh man.
So hopefully he gets his power back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking of going out there, stopping out there, because it really isn't that far. I think it's not that far off the road to Salem, and we go out to Salem a couple times a year.
What's out there? Is it just like the creepy graveyards and the backstories and stuff like that, or do they have like a lot more going on during that time?
It's a tourist town. It's,
Yeah.
A lot of the witch history. Obviously, that's their big draw. But they've also got. I mean, there's a lot of pirate history out there. They've got a pirate museum out there. The House of Seven Gables. If you're into history, if you're into any kind of history stuff, it's a great place to visit. Nice place to walk around. Don't waste your money on any of the haunted houses. Every one of them. I've been to them all, and they all. I mean, I wouldn't pay $2 to go through any one of them again.
Cool.
It was that bad. But tonight, I mean, it's a nice little, just a nice little getaway. Plus, they've got the old Burying Point Cemetery, which is it's like the second oldest cemetery in the U.S. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is. It's the second oldest official cemetery, or some shit like that. I figure it's got to be pretty old, anyways. The judge from the witch trials is buried there.
Wow. Huh.
Which is what the hell's his name there? Hawthorne, the author. It's his great-grandfather, I think it is. But yeah, the old Burying Point Cemetery is nice because you get a good look at the old stones, the old Puritan stones. A lot of the Death's Head and the Cherub's Head stones. I'm a tombstone nerd. And I think this is probably going to be just about it for the carving tonight. It's getting a little late here, and I gotta go in and work overtime tomorrow. Stupid me for signing up for overtime.
And we gotta go tomorrow too.
Yeah, I gotta get up early and take my car up for an inspection and oil
Yeah,
change.
I'm working overtime tomorrow too, so.
I don't know why the hell I volunteered for it. I don't like going there in the first place. Why I would go there on my day off is beyond me.
Lawrence Johnson says, "Good night, all. Great video, very informative. I'd love to see more."
All right, well, we're going to try and do this again next week. And hopefully this stone will be done by then, and we'll start something new, and we'll do the epitaph and maybe do something different. So, Phil, you can stay on. I'm just gonna turn the broadcast off.
Okay, sounds good.
So, everybody else out there, have a good night, and I'll post, or one of us will post a link to this when we do it again. Hopefully, I'll give you a little bit more notice, and maybe more people can catch it. Well, have a good night.